Welcome, everyone. My name is Lisa Fishbane-Jaffe. I'm the director of the Hadassah-Brandeis Institute at Brandeis University. We are a research institute devoted to Jewish women's and gender studies. And our mission is to support research, scholarship, and creative work exploring the experience of Jewish women across geographic boundaries, across academic disciplines, and across time. And I can think of no better way for us to fulfill our mission and to celebrate International Women's Day than with this international collaboration today. This is a special meeting of the HBI Virtual Conversations Program, which allows people to meet with authors to discuss their work. And we're delighted that today we're presenting this program in collaboration with the Alliance Center for Iranian Studies at Tel Aviv University. And we will be exploring important issues regarding memoir, migration, fundamentalism, and Jewish continuity. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our collaborator, Dr. Liora Hendelman-Baavur, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, and good evening from Tel Aviv. I want to thank Lisa for her kind words and the lovely cooperation in organizing this event, and also to Terry for her relentless efforts in bringing and putting everything together. As mentioned, I am the director of the Alliance Center for Iranian Studies at Tel Aviv University. The center was established in 2005 as the first of its kind in Israel. Among our activities, we promote the study of Iranian Jewry through two main programs, the Dr. Habib Levy program in Iranian Jewish history, and from 2018, the program for the study of Iranian Jews in Israel. It is quite exciting for me to host this event with the author of From Miniskirt to Hijab, A Girl in Revolutionary Iran, a winner of the Chicago Writers Association 2020 Book of the Year Award for Traditional Nonfiction. Without further ado, I will introduce our moderator today, Farideh Goldin. And
it is so exciting to be here. And as a scholar of Iranian Jewish women writers and Iranian women's life narratives, I'm always very excited to see how new books of literature, especially memoirs, are written by Iranian Jewish women. Lack of access to education and cultural restrictions against women's voices prohibited Iranian Jewish women from writing. Memoirs are the most forbidden form of literature in Iran. The language has to be direct, even though Persian is a very indirect language. The writer has to be open and honest about her life, her experiences, and these are all cultural taboos, especially for women. Each memoir adds another colorful story block to the complicated quilt of our lives and our untold stories as Iranian Jewish women. There are about 10 memoirs published by Iranian Jewish women since the revolution of 1979. Each tells a unique story of a woman's life at home, her relationship to her family and culture, the trauma of the Iranian Revolution, and her life outside Iran. Most of these memoirs are written in English. Homa Sarshar is probably the only woman writer that I know of who wrote 2 books of memoirs in Persian in the United States. Today, we have one of those very brave and wonderful writers here, thanks to Dr. Liora Hendelman-Baavur and the director of the Alliance Center for Iranian Studies at Tel Aviv University and the Hadassah-Brandeis Institute. Jacqueline Saper was born and raised in Tehran to a Mizrahi Iranian father and an Ashkenazi British mother. Her memoir, From Miniskirt to Hejab, A Girl in Revolutionary Iran, was published in 2019 by the University of Nebraska Press and Potomac Books. Her book has received numerous awards. I especially love her book because much of the story is set in Shiraz, my hometown in southern Iran. Please join me to welcome Jacqueline and to hear her story. Jacqueline.
Thank you, Farideh. Thank you, Dr. Hendelman-Baavur, and thank you, Dr. Fishbein-Joffe, for having me, and to all of you who are tuning into the program today. It is so special to be able to connect with you all, and I hope that one day we can all meet in person. And how befitting that this program is in March, and that means it's Women's History Month. The judges of the 2020 Book of the Year Award have mentioned that Saper has given us a boots on the ground account on the political and cultural upheaval caused by the 1979 Iranian Revolution. Indeed, my book themes, survival and women's empowerment, retell a personal account of a woman grounded in her Jewish identity to examine the broader anti-Semitic and misogynistic rulings of post-revolutionary Iran. Other memoirs have been written about life in post-revolutionary Iran, including ones by prominent Iranian Jews. Every experience is worthy of itself. However, my book is different because I'm not your typical Iranian author. By writing this book, I wanted to give a different perspective of the Iranian Jewish experience. From Miniskirt to Hijab takes you on a journey of my once vibrant life as the daughter of a university professor and his foreign wife in Imperial Iran. As I mentioned in my book, as a Jewish dorage in a Muslim society, I was a minority within a minority. I have experienced Iran in three distinctive eras: a teenager in monarchy, an adult during the revolution, and a wife and mother of two in the Islamic Republic. I was exposed to extreme opposites and overcame them by adjusting so fast at a young age. Some of you have read the book, others haven't. So I try not to spoil too much for those who haven't. This is the cover of the book. The publishers chose the photo of me at the age of 17.
Jacqueline, thank you very much. Fascinating.
Thank you.
So it's interesting because Jacqueline's book covers the era after mine. I had already left Iran when she went through all this. So I didn't go through the revolution myself, although my family did. So I wrote two memoirs, one for Hadassah-Brandeis. It's called Wedding Song, which is the story of my mother's life. My second book, Living Iran, is written in two voices, mine and my father's, and it chronicles my father's hardship during the revolution. He returned to Iran in 1980 after escaping to Israel on the last direct El Al flights from Mehrabad in Tehran to Ben Gurion.
I took a long time writing this book. I wanted to write it 25 years ago, but I waited. I wanted to have the maturity and the discretion to write it in a way to be fact-based, non-partisan, non-political, and just go with the facts.
Eileen, who wants to know how many Jews were in Iran, I think, Jacqueline, correct me, I think there were about 100,000 during the revolution, maybe 30,000 now?
No. There were 100,000, but that 100,000 were prominent, viable members of society. There were businessmen, there were university professors, there were academia, they were, so the dimensions of the community have also changed.
We want to thank you for attending the event, to Jacqueline for sharing her story with us, and to Farideh for sharing and moderating the event. Thank you all, and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.